Good day, everyone, and welcome to Journey of the Anointed with Mr. Buzz. I'm going to talk about the spirit realm. Something that I would venture to say most people have not witnessed firsthand. You've all definitely witnessed its governance because it governs the physical realm that we dwell in. But it's invisible, of course. It's around us right now, all around us. The spirit realm is everywhere. And it's the one in charge. And this is the thing that is very important to understand. Most people think it's the opposite. They think that this is what governs everything. No, this is at the mercy of the spirit realm. All the big decisions are made in the spirit realm. However things go there dictates what happens here. That is a fact. Now, some of us have witnessed the spirit realm firsthand. Some people are just able to. It's a gift that is given to them by God. They're able to see spirits. They're able to, so some people are actually able to access the spirit realm completely and see what's going on there. I wouldn't say that's the case for me, not quite. However, I am very susceptible to the spirit realm, and I have witnessed it firsthand because of psychedelics, things like ayahuasca, psilocybin mushrooms and whatnot, which I will say right off the bat, I am not recommending anybody do any kind of psychedelics. I would tell you right off the bat, do not do any type of psychedelics. I've stated this in many videos, even though I've talked about psychedelics, made it very clear, my recommendation is do not do psychedelics, okay? God's forgiven me for the things I've done in the past, and some of them, you know how they say God will take something bad and negative and turn it around for good. Okay, so that's what he's done with my experience with psychedelics. He wasn't happy that I did them, but now that I've made the mistake and done them, well, what kind of benefit can there be from that? The experience that I got can be shared with others, and I can also use it in my own life to make good decisions, and it helps me understand certain things. So the spirit realm is can be a very nasty place. It is filled with every kind of entity and monster you can imagine, and many that you can't imagine. Many of them have hundreds, if not thousands, of eyeballs. They can have any number of arms and legs. Some of them can pull themselves apart, take body parts off of themselves, and they can remove their heads. I've witnessed many beings that can remove their heads. It's funny, there's a movie called Labyrinth that many people would know. It was a very popular movie. I've seen it many, many times when I was younger. And in that movie, there was these beings that remove their heads and throw them around like a football. They're singing this song about losing their heads. I know why that is. The spirit realm has many of these things that they enjoy doing it because especially if someone's there to see it, they will freak you out by removing their head and threatening to remove yours too. That's usually how it goes. The spirit realm is no joke. When people do psychedelics and they're witnessing all these things and they're, oh man, that was so freaky, and they're telling each other, you wouldn't believe, man, I just had the coolest hallucinations. If they only knew what they were actually witnessing was not a hallucination in the first place, it was a real demonic entity, and depending on what kind it was, it might have had the ability to really do damage to them. So the spirit realm should not be taken lightly at all. And having access to it unless God says you should, you shouldn't. It's not a place human beings want to tread at all. You want to stay away from it. It's there regardless if you see it or not. Doing things to force it to come into view is dangerous, and I mean dangerous, okay? Now, there's some basic things without seeing it, there's some basic things that I can tell you for sure will be a problem. If you do them in the physical realm, you're going to affect what happens in the spiritual realm in a big way. Let's say anything such as, now, one of my favorite bands, I was a rock musician all my life, I play guitar and enjoyed listening to rock and roll bands. One of my favorites of all was Iron Maiden. Now, all you got to do is look at the cover of an Iron Maiden record, and it's pretty obvious. This band is all about the demonic. That's what they're clearly about. Now, their lyrics, they use a Samuel Taylor Coleridge poem called Rime of the Ancient Mariner and wrote this song about that poem. They write about war. They write about all kinds of different things. Very highly intelligent guys. They're not stupid at all. They're all very well educated. I think they've all got college degrees, actually. They're incredibly good musicians. No one would ever take that away from them. Their guitar ability is pretty much unsurpassed, actually. The two guitar players are so good. I mean, there's all kinds of things you could say good about this band, but then you look at the cover of one of their records. Well, if you're a Christian and you bring that into your home, you are opening a portal to the demonic instantly. I didn't know this when I was young. My parents didn't know this. My mother was a devout Christian, but she didn't like my Iron Maiden record. She'd see them and go, oh, that's terrible demonic stuff. And but she wouldn't make me get rid of it. She didn't understand that it shouldn't even have been in the house. And I didn't either. And actually at the time, I was such a rebel that knowing that that would have made me want to keep it in the house even more, because that's the way I was. I went through a really rebellious stage. But later in life, I learned this kind of stuff is very dangerous. You open up portals just by having that picture that's on the front of the Iron Maiden record. By having that in your house, you might as well say, here, demon, 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 come on, demons, let's go. You might as well do that, because that's what it does. That's instantly what it does. They know that's there. They take it as an invitation. Well, look at that. There's a picture of us right there. We're welcome here, obviously. That is hard for people to understand who haven't been to the spirit realm. Let me tell you, I've been to the spirit realm many, many times. I spent years immersed in shamanism and psychedelic drugs. The plant medicines especially. Okay, so I did LSD as well, which is a lab-made psychedelic. But I preferred the plant medicines because they offer a more spiritual experience. You can't get that from LSD. You'll get razzle dazzle from LSD. You get lots of razzle dazzle. You might see the spirit realm. You'll see a lot of patterns and colors and different things. The plant medicines like ayahuasca and psilocybe mushrooms and Peruvian torch cactus and San Pedro and these things, Salvia divinorum, these offer a different experience. These open portals right into the spirit realm. And very dangerous, very highly dangerous. It must have just been because the Lord was protecting me that I came out of it unscathed, because I spent years doing that stuff. I was so comfortable running around in the spirit realm that it got to a point where I didn't want to come back. I wanted to stay there. I wasn't scared of any of the entities. I felt like I was at home in the spirit realm. I was a weird case study that way. I'm not sure why that was, but So when I tell you that I'm familiar with the spirit realm, I mean I'm really familiar with the spirit realm. The shaman who taught me some things, he saved me during ayahuasca ceremonies from some of these entities a few times. They had a real hate on for me, and they wanted to torture and attack me. And I was probably no match for them. Some of these entities that come after me were pretty powerful, and I was just cocky. I wasn't as skilled as I thought I was at that point. I was kind of cocky, which isn't good. Going into the spirit realm with cockiness, you're really in danger. You're definitely a sitting duck. And the shaman saved my butt several times from these things. And he would chastise me afterwards. He'd be like, you got to be very careful. He's like, I know you're doing these things on your own too without me around. He's like, you got to understand, this is real warfare. When you go in the spirit realm and these things come at you, they have every intention to kill you. They're not messing around. They want to kill you. That's what they want to do. At the very least, they want to attach to you. They want to make you their new home. They want to live inside you. Iron Maiden Records. Definitely. I had so much demonic attachment. It's another thing the shaman told me. He's like, what have you been doing to bring all these parasites? He's like, you're loaded with spiritual parasites and demonic entities all over you. What have you been up to? And I'm like, well, living like a rock star, really. That's what I thought I was. And really cocky and arrogant, and listening to Iron Maiden every day, and among other bands, Black Sabbath and a whole bunch of others. So he had to do some work to get rid of all those things. That took some skill on his part to get them off of me and get them out of me, which he eventually did. He was very skilled at that sort of stuff. And this was a shaman, the only one I ever met, who was totally into Jesus. It was like Christian shamanism, if there could be such a thing. I don't think there really can, because shamanism is considered wrong in the eyes of Christianity. But I swear this guy was totally into Jesus. And he was a shaman. He was an ayahuasca shaman who had a big picture of Jesus beside him right during his ceremonies. A life-size picture of Jesus Christ right up there. I swear to you. No one ever saw that before. He was the only shaman ever that I know of. I've never heard of it other than him. But yeah, that's true. And okay, now we're going to get to one other thing. The video's getting a little long, so I better mention this. A lot of people may have already trailed off here. And Halloween. Halloween is a big one. If you're a Christian, you call yourself a Christian, and you're raising your children to be Christian, you must stop participating in Halloween. Halloween is a celebration of the kingdom of darkness. It's nothing else. It's not harmless fun. It is, let me repeat that, it's a celebration of the kingdom of darkness. Halloween is actually All Hallows Eve. It's the night the veil is the thinnest of the whole year. That's why it's on October 31st. And it is used by Satanists and Luciferians and all these devil-worshipping groups. It's the night they do serious rituals, sacrifices. Lots of human sacrifice takes place on Halloween. People think it's harmless just to dress. Oh, I'm dressing up like a bunny and I'm going out, whatever. Yeah, you're participating in the celebration of the evil one, of the kingdom of darkness, the devil himself. It's his night. So if you're a Christian and you're thinking it's harmless to celebrate his big celebration, I promise you it isn't. I promise you it isn't. I got this directly from the Lord. He sent a message, and it was earlier today. Now, I haven't celebrated it in years, and he knows I haven't. So I figure he sent this message to me so I'd make this video about this. He wanted me to get this out there. If you are a Christian, you call yourself a Christian, you must stop participating in Halloween, and you must stop letting your children participate in Halloween. And you must teach them what the reason is for that. Do something else on Halloween. Do something Christian, but fun with your kids. So you don't get to go out on Halloween. No, you don't. But we're going to do this. It's going to be even better. And take them out, and they won't even care they're not celebrating Halloween. Do something more fun than that. Halloween actually isn't that fun. I never liked it as a kid very much because you go out and the other kids would want to beat you up and steal your candy, and there was all kinds of bad stuff happened. People would abuse animals. They'd do things to cats and stuff. It was just always really troubled me a lot. I never found Halloween to be super great myself, but I did do it because every other kid did it, so, you didn't want to be the only kid that didn't. However, if my mother would have known how important it was for me not to, then, because she was a very devout Christian, but she missed a few things like that. So, I mean, most people do. The noise of the world, it just kind of deceives us, and we don't realize. But I'm here to tell you, this is something the Lord wants everyone to know. He's not happy when you celebrate Halloween. If you are a follower of Jesus Christ, stop celebrating Halloween. Do not do it another year. Make sure this year you do not participate whatsoever. I won't even give out the candy. I haven't for the last few years. I shut the lights out, pretend I'm not home, and I just have nothing to do with it. So that's the last thing I'll put on the end. As a follower of Jesus, Halloween, there's just no place for it. And Jesus Christ is the way, the truth, and the life, the Lord of Lords, and the King of Kings.